Hey everybody, welcome to Board Game Heaven. My name is Raymond, and in this video I'll be doing an unboxing of Lord of Bones by Adam Strzelecki, published by Trefl. Now before I open up the box and show you the contents, I'd like to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That really helps the channel, and there's also a Patreon page where you can support me financially for as little as €1 per month or more, and in return you will get early access to all of my videos, your name in the credits, and some Patreon exclusive content as well. All right, let's open up the box and see what's inside. All right, so the Lord of Bones, pretty big box by Trefl. Had some cool artwork on the cover of a giant underground hall with a giant door, fire everywhere, and a couple of adventurers there bravely venturing forth. It's a game designed by Adam Strzelecki, if I pronounced that correctly, and the illustrations are done by Michał Ambrzykowski. I have lots of trouble reading Polish names. I'm assuming they're Polish, I'm not sure. And on the back of the box we have a bit of a layout of the game and some of the cards that you're using and the tiles. A bit of explanation there with some pictures, pretty cool. We've got English and German right here. And on the sides it just says Lord of Bones, and it's a game for ages 10 and up, 2 to 4 players, which plays in about an hour to an hour and a half. So there you go. So let's open up the box and take a look. So first of all, we have a German rulebook and a English rulebook. And that will tell you all the contents of the game, a description of the components, so how a card works, what everything means, of course, how the dungeon tiles look like and how they work. Here's a nice illustration of the designer. We have encounter cards, all their icons explained there. We have how to equip a hero. You can give your hero items. Crafting items. There's the Lord of Bones card. So there he is, made of 4 cards. And how to set up the game. How to play the game, the sequence of play, how combat works, and how the end of the game is triggered. Scoring, and how to store everything. So they have a nice insert for everything, which is very nice. So yeah. That's everything in the book. Does it say where these people are from? I don't think it does. That's a shame. But anyway, here is a overview as well from a young Smith's notebook. So we have 1, 2, 3, and another 3. 1, 2, 3, 3. Yeah, well, I guess this is a reference of some kind. I'll still have to learn all the rules. So then we have a punch board with several dungeon tiles and a character board. This is Argana, I believe a dwarven warrior. And on the back we have Durdeth, another dwarven warrior there. And the back of these dungeon tiles are pretty cool, and nice illustration there of a dungeon with a torch. And here's a stairway, so I guess that's an exit or an entrance. So you have that. The second punch board is a character named Thoros, a wizard. And a female mage, Trixie. And of course more dungeon tiles. Then there's a sheet with more dungeon tiles and a whole bunch of tokens. They're a bit off-center, sadly, but the rest looks good. So that's a bit odd. And yeah, but they're double-sided, so yeah, that looks good. Another punch board with more dungeon tiles and more tokens. Also double-sided. And there's another punch board with another character. And this is the Elven Archer Sovelis on one side, and a female version, Ariel, on the other side. Looking really cool. Lovely art. Absolutely gorgeous. Then there's a bard. Nice. A bard halfling, I would wager, called Viola. And a male halfling bard, Yoshik. That's pretty cool. And here's the insert. So that does indeed look very good. This is for all the dungeon tiles. This is probably for the starting tile. And we have all the tokens that go in here and in here. We also have a bag of dice and meeples. So let me just try and get that open. All right, so let's take a look at these meeples first. We have 4 heroes, 4 characters in meeple form. Yeah, let me just lay those out. So here we have the Elvish Ranger, the Dwarf Warrior, the Mage or Sorcerer, and the Halfling Bard, who looks very meeple-like. And they are the same on both sides, but they have kind of like a black contour. So you can use them for either the male or the female version. So those are pretty nice. I think they're supposed to go here. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll look that up in the booklet because it was neatly explained. It does fit nicely. And then we have the dice. These are printed dice, just white, common dice with rounded corners, so they roll well. We have a skull, a star, a mask, a sword, an arrow, and a wand. So 6 different faces, and I would guess that they go in here, and they do. All right, so then there is a whole bunch of cards. So let me just open that up and show that to you. So there are a whole bunch of cards here. We have these doors from the cover, closed doors, and there's a 1 on these, and there's a whole bunch of those, and then there's different cards. So let's take a look at those first. So these have different monsters, it seems. So a skeleton, which I guess you have to beat with a wand and a mask. And that might get you this resource, I'm not sure. That kind of looks intuitively what that does. We have different kinds of skeletal monsters, skeletons, and they all have different art. This is pretty cool. So we have those. Then we have cards that have a token on it and some kind of treasure. So there's a ring. There's a potion, and they are oriented in different ways, so I guess that's how you add them to your character board. I guess you can kind of slide them underneath so that you can see what kind of upgrades you have, because these add to your attack values, I guess. So we have that, we have the ranger potion, we have the magical wand potion, and this, so 1 for everything. And then there's some more skeletons. So we have those. There's more in there, I see. This seems like a reference card, but this is not in English. Is that Polish? I honestly can't tell. But these are 4 cards. I'm hoping to find English cards in here as well. These are cards with the number 3 on it, and it seems like these are equipment cards for loot. And there's also number 2 and number 1. So looking at these, we got something simple like a knife, which requires wood and iron to make. And here's another knife. Different art with basically the same kind of ingredients. Here's sling, another sling. And yeah, this again the same, but differently colored. A magic wand. A jester's scepter, and also 2 different ones, and it's pretty cool. Different bows, different swords, magic wands, boots, and all kinds of stuff here. So these have an extra skull added to them, which I don't know, might be a wild. That would be a logical thing. So we have those. I'm just going to put those here. Let me just take a look at these cards. So yeah, we've got the Lord of Bones cards here. So, you know, this is the head. And then you make the body with a left side and a right side. And then the feet. And then you turn them around and he becomes mortal, I guess. So you can beat him with these stats, is my guess. So I'll put him in here. Then we have level 3 doors, and there must also be level 2 doors. So the door is slowly opening. So you got the level 1 is the door is closed. Level 2, they're slowly opening, and level 3, they're opening with the Lord of Bones shadow back there. So yeah, on this is still level 1. We get some more skeletons, and this is level 2. You can immediately see that this is a tougher skeleton with more rewards. So yeah, the Lord of Bones obviously is a necromancer who summons the undead. So that's why we get a lot of skeletons with really cool art, and every card is different. That's super cool. There's a lot of artwork. And then we also have some loot that you can find in those dungeons. This is pretty cool, that mask there, metal mask. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. This looks also something prismatic, maybe also wild. Here we go, and here you need the skulls to defeat some of these. That's level 3. So you're gonna need skull results as well. So you've got to make sure to upgrade your character with some things that have those skulls on them. All right, so that's that. And then we have these cards. Also level 3, I guess, Lord of Bones. I don't know what these do. These are special cards. And then we have 4 of these cards, which is also a level 3 card. Some kind of potion. I don't exactly know what that does yet, of course. I need to learn how to play this first. But so far, it's looking really, really cool. All right. So yeah, sadly, I do not have any English versions of these cards, so I'll probably end up downloading a reference sheet to keep that handy, but I expect the rules to be pretty easy to memorize. And here's an overview of things you can craft, I guess. So yeah, shouldn't be too difficult. So yeah, the meeples go here, the dice go here, the different dungeon tiles go here, the ladder, and there's another one. They go in the middle, and these cards go here. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, that's pretty cool. And the character boards go on top of that to keep everything in place in this slot. And then you put the rule books on top. So let's do a quick reboxing. So I've punched all the dungeon tiles and all the tokens, and you can put these crystal tokens in the first slot. You can put all the health blood droplet tokens in the second, as well as these compass jewels things in the third one, and then all these square ones with the crown on one side and the different icons on the other side in the biggest slot of these. And of course, we've already seen the meeples and the dice over here. The cards obviously go in here, and if you sleeve them, there is plenty of room. There's room on all sides, and there's enough height to sleeve them all. And the entrance and the door to the Lord of Bones tiles go in the center, and the rest is simply divided among these 4 slots. And then you take the character boards and you put them on top of that, which fits in nicely. It has a little hole here so you can pick them up easily. And then you put the instruction booklets on top of that, and then you can close the lid nicely, and everything has its own spot. I do think there is a bunch of space of air underneath the insert, so with a little bit of rearranging and organizing, they could have probably made this box smaller. So yeah, that's something I would change, but all in all, it is a very well made insert, and some nice components, really cool artwork. Really looking forward to play this one.
And so that was my unboxing of Lord of Bones by Trefl. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And please also check out my Patreon page by clicking the link in the description below or the icon at the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Board Game Heaven.